Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your news in motion. Today is Monday, people. Today is Monday, February the 7th, 2022. And it is time for the weekend recap. So come on in the room. Let us know what you've been doing. Good morning, Camille Hopkins. I see you out there on YouTube land. Good morning to you. Come on in the room, people. I need to know what you were doing all weekend. So come on in and say hello. Go ahead and put your name in the chat. Let me know you're here, especially if you're watching live this morning. Good morning, Jeffrey Allen James. Good morning to you, sir. Good morning, Cherie. Good morning, girlfriend. Good morning, Lori Wallace. Good morning to you. Happy Monday, joyful Monday. Good morning, Katrina. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. What's up, people? Good morning to all of you. All right, y'all. I was out enjoying the snow because snow fell in my neck of the woods. What about you? Many of us did a challenge. Started with Davia Williams Stevenson. She started throwing this snow angel challenge. So I got dressed, went out there, and I threw the challenge to more people. And several of us did that. It was fun. It was refreshing. We played in the snow. We weren't able to have a snowball fight, but we were able to make snow angels. So let me know what you did this weekend. I see you, Tracy. Good morning, girl. Good morning, Latrice Jones. Good morning, Sardinia. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning to all of you. So come on, y'all. Join the conversation. Put in the chat what you did this weekend. And if you were in Snowland, if you did anything out in the snow. Good morning to my brother, Louis Pryor III. Good morning, Yvonne. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Come on, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you did this week. And I see you, Adrian. For those of you who are tuning in by audio, I am so grateful that you decided to spend your morning drive, either to drop off the children to school, to go to work, or to go grab your cup of coffee. I'm just so glad that you tuned in to News in Motion. I see all of y'all rolling up in here. I want to say thank you. Thank you for everyone who continues to tune in and who continues to support. We are grateful. This is the moment I'm going to say this now. I need all of you to look at that share button. Y'all, share is free. Share is free. Look at that share button and share News in Motion with someone else. Invite them. Don't just post it on your wall. Put a little message in there that says, hey, come check out News in Motion with me. I see you, Stephanie Burbridge Hall. Deborah Johnson says it was freezing when I got home. That's right. You came home from Arizona. How was that flight, girlfriend? Yvonne says, spent a lot of time decluttering. Yep, I know that feeling. We all got to do that from time to time. But listen, y'all, hit that share button. Hit that share button and invite people to come and check out News in Motion with you. Y'all, we got a lot to recap. So guess what, y'all? It's time for us to get this baby started. I see you, Lori. Lori says she worked on her upcoming film. I love that. Katrina says she was out in the snow all night. I love that too. John Gore said, good morning. NPHC hosted their 6th annual Teen Summit with over 320 youth and advisors on Zoom. That is phenomenal. Talking about violence, mental health amongst teens, outstanding event. That sounds like an amazing, outstanding, excellent, phenomenal event, John. Thank you. 320 young people. That is excellent. Sardinia says she went shopping and went to church on Sunday. Shopping is always good and church is even better. Good morning, Danielle. Marion says, good morning. Diane Ladybug says, good morning. So good morning to all of you. And again, I was out in the snow after Davia Stevenson challenged me. Between Davia challenged me, then Joy dared me. And then Chrissy said, come on, Gail. I said, let me get out here and do my snow angel. But it was so much fun, y'all. That was just refreshing. We got to stay young. We got to stay young. All right, y'all. Daily brief. It's time for the daily brief. Council on Foreign Affairs. Olympics open with Xi and Putin meeting. Who does that? Yeah, y'all. The Winter Olympics opening ceremony kicked off in Beijing on Friday with several world leaders boycotting the event over China's human rights record. Yeah, but it didn't stop those two from meeting. Y'all, U.S. asked Japan for help in supplying Europe with natural gas. Washington asked Tokyo to send liquefied natural gas supplies to Europe if the crisis in Ukraine leads to a supply disruption. Now, China said it is considering the request that came from Washington, D.C. This, in brief, explains how Europe's dependence on Russian energy plays a role in the Ukraine crisis. All right, y'all. In India, the government will cut back on social spending and increase infrastructure spending despite public discontent over unemployment and the rising cost of living. So that is happening. Y'all, in the U.S. Department approves weapons sales to Jordan and Saudi Arabia, as well as the UAE, which is the United Arab Emirates. Y'all, the sale will include a fighter jet for Jordan and missile defense system components for Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Now, a year ago, President Joe Biden said Washington would end support for offensive operations led by Saudi coalition in Yemen, including relevant arms sales. So what is this about? Yeah, in Iran, a Danish court found 3 members of the Iranian Arab opposition group guilty of spying as well as financing and supporting terrorist activities in Iran in collaboration with Saudi intelligence services. Stop right there. But the U.S. has agreed to sell arms. Yeah, y'all. So when we get these daily briefings of Council of Foreign Affairs, we're learning something, right? Yeah, Y'all, the African Union, which is the AU, held a leaders summit this weekend and is expected to weigh conflicting views on Israel's accreditation to the AU, which is the chair had accepted last year. So we got to watch that play out as well. Y'all, Russia, of all people, Russia is criticizing the U.S. assertion and its planning of false flag attack on Ukraine. Y'all, Russia's foreign minister said the U.S. claimed it plans to stage a fake attack by Ukrainian forces on Russian-speaking people is nonsense. It's like, this is nonsense. A U.S. State Department spokesperson for the United States is confident in its intelligence, but did not provide proof. We got to watch this play out. Y'all, also in foreign affairs, y'all, it's a lot today, right? 5 senior aides to Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned in the wake of the scandal of Partygate, y'all, over parties that was held during the pandemic restrictions in the United Kingdom. Y'all, and finally, from the Council on Foreign Affairs, Costa Rica hosts presidential legislative elections. That's happening. There is no clear front runner in the presidential race, which will likely go to a runoff. 1/3 of the Costa Ricans said that they were undecided in the recent polls. Let me see what y'all saying in here. Blessed morning to you, Valerie. Yep, Kim Edmondson, there is a lot going on. And with a lot going on, Queen Elizabeth celebrated her 70-year jubilee. Yeah, the royal family is reporting the Queen's Ascension Day message. Elizabeth Alexandria Mary Windsor, Queen Elizabeth II, she says, on February the 6th marks the 70th anniversary of my accession in 1952. It is a day that even after 70 years, I still remember as much for the death of my father, King George VI, as for the start of my reign. As we mark this anniversary, it gives me pleasure to renew and to you the pledge I gave in 1947 that my life will always be devoted to your service. As I look ahead with a sense of hope and optimism to the year of my platinum jubilee, I am reminded of how much we can be thankful for. The last 7 decades have seen extraordinary progress socially, technologically, if I say it out of her voice, and culturally that I have benefited us all. And I am confident that the future will offer similar opportunities to us, and especially to the young generations in the kingdom and throughout the Commonwealth. I am fortunate, back to her voice, to have had the steadfast and loving support of my family. I was blessed that Prince Philip and I partnered, willing to carry out the role of the consort and unselfishly make many sacrifices that go with it. And it is a role that I saw my mother perform during my father's reign. Yada, 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 yada. She goes on, but y'all, I don't want y'all to miss this. She says, and when in the fullness of time, my son Charles will become king, I know you will give him and his wife Camilla the same support that you have given me. And it is with my sincere wish that when that time comes, Camilla, remember, y'all, she's divorced, right? Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal services. Yada, yada, yada. She goes on to say, and as I look forward to continuing to serve you with all my heart, I hope this Jubilee will bring together families. You got some in California. You're going to give them protection so they can come hang out with the family. But anyway, and friends and neighbors and communities, after some difficult times for so many of us, in order to enjoy the celebrations and to reflect on the positive developments in our day-to-day lives that have so happily coincide with my reign. So hats off to you, Queen Elizabeth II. She's now in the Guinness's Book of World Records as the longest reigning queen in the world. So that is happening. That is happening. If you're wondering, why did I read all of that? When you get a press release from Buckingham Palace, from the royal family, which we did receive right here on News in Motion, you have to agree to read the entire press release. So I had to read all of that. But y'all, congratulations to her. But I need you, Queen, to get with your son, your grandson, Harry, and his wife and their 2 children, and figure out how you're going to let them come as well. What are y'all in here talking about? The Queen boys. I had to bring it on. Good morning, Judy. I had to bring it on. All right, y'all. In the coronavirus news, in the United States on Friday, y'all, the nation's death toll from COVID-19 surpassed 900,000 deaths. Surpassed. We are headed towards 1 million deaths as we're going into year 3 of this pandemic. All right, y'all, from the Federal Reserve Board, and I want y'all to pay close attention to this. Y'all, now in 1972, the dollar was first established as America's official currency, y'all. Many changes have taken place to the face of America's money since that time. I think Isaiah has an image to put up here. Y'all, the Federal Reserve is taking the next step in weighing whether to launch a government-blocked cryptocurrency, issuing a report late last week that explores the potential benefits and drawbacks of a digital version of its currency, one better suited for today's increasingly cashless world. Now, y'all, here's an opportunity for all of you to weigh in. For all of you, I've already weighed in. Here's an opportunity. So, Isaiah, I think you have the banner. Y'all, write down this particular website. Y'all, this is the federalreserve.com website. Now, y'all, the central bank is asking for the public to provide feedback. Y'all, here's an opportunity we can provide feedback on the question. And this is over the next 120 days. And it said that in any event, it would only seek to create a digital currency with clear support from both the executive branch and Congress, along with the public. So if you go to that link, you will complete this form to say if you are for cryptocurrency or not. So y'all, here's an opportunity. Don't miss this opportunity to participate. This is about civic engagement. So why not participate, y'all? According to the Market Watch, the results are promising for the viability of a digital dollar, as the research produced in collaboration with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology found the potential of central bank digital currency capable of handling 1.7 million transactions per second. That's more than 2.5 times the numbers of transactions Visa can handle. Elizabeth Town says, don't let us get into crypto and mess the game up. There you have it, y'all. Seriously. So you all have to weigh in. You have to weigh in. They're letting us do that. All right, y'all, in Facebook news. Dang. Woo! Anytime you can lose 240 billion with a B. Y'all, on Thursday, Facebook parent company Meta had its worst day ever on Wall Street. Disillusioned investors sliced its market value by 26%, costing the company about 240 billion. Y'all, that's with a B. Insider report it was the largest one-day wipeout in U.S. corporate history. Y'all, this record shattering stock drop caped it was a crazy tech earnings season that left two contradictory takeaways, according to the Wall Street Journal. Tech firms now sit at the economy's core, yet they also can still be risky at bets. Y'all, listen. This is bad news. This is bad news. Axios report it also faces inevitably generational shifts as the younger user flocks to newer rivals like TikTok. Y'all, people are leaving Facebook. They're not even buying Facebook ads anymore. It's a mess. And I mean, boom, $240 billion. Talking about money, y'all, Mackenzie Scott's in the news. CNN Business is reporting Mackenzie Scott has donated $133.5 million to educational nonprofit communities in schools, an organization that helps students navigate issues inside and outside the classroom. This billionaire philanthropist's donation is the largest unsolicited gift in the program's history. Let me talk about unsolicited for a moment, y'all. Listen. Sometimes if you're just doing great, somebody's going to recognize you and bam, unsolicited, they're going to send you something. That's why you have to be consistent. You have to stay in your game. You have to do what you have been gifted to do in this season. Y'all still talking about all this technology. Fox 2 in Michigan is reporting that Michigan has finalized a contract to build the country's first wireless charging road system in Detroit. Say that real fast. The first wireless charging road system in Detroit, the state announced last Tuesday. The Michigan Department of Transportation awarded the project to Electron, an electric vehicle solution firm that will construct a 1-mile stretch of road open to the public and capable of charging battery-powered cars and trucks in real time. Now, the road where it's being built hasn't been selected yet, the state said, but it will be located somewhere in Detroit. Let's talk about that for a moment. Let's just talk for a moment about that. So if you have a Tesla, if you have a battery charged Volvo or BMW or whatever, you on that strip. You don't have to go wait and pull over and get the charge. You can get that supercharge right there on the road. Where are we headed, people? Where are we headed? Kim Edmondson says, why? Nobody's on the road in Detroit. You're not right, Kim. You're just not right. But that's what's happening. All right, y'all, the Olympics. Y'all, where's the excitement? Viewership is down. And they don't know what's going on, y'all. The polling shows enthusiasm for the games is just silent. And while the Winter Games are typically not as popular as the Summer Games, the fact that the Olympics are being held in China isn't really helping either. For the first time ever, the entirety, though, of the Olympics will be available from the beginning to the end on Peacock. So, y'all, there's an opportunity to watch. Now, I'll have to be honest with you all. I tried to watch yesterday. I was like, let me watch. And I checked out the single ski jumps. It was just, there was no excitement. There was like no one there. So I was like, what is this? So then I said, okay, I'm going to keep watching. I went and tried to watch curling. Wasn't feeling it. Then I said, okay, let me watch figure skating. So I was watching the doubles. And I was like, okay, there's some excitement here. Then the Russians were doing this, this double. Y'all may have seen this last night. And the guy went to lift her up and his ice skate went from under him and he went back and she was upside down where he had lifted her. And so she came down. I just knew something in her body had to break off. So I was like, just in shock. She got up. She was still smiling. I don't know if she's hurting today, but currently they are in first place. So, y'all, that is happening. Y'all, speaking of the Olympics right here, it's time for the end zone with Kenny Stanley. Let's get this end zone rolling. There you are, brother.
What's happening?
How are you?
I'm all right.
Good.
I'm okay.
And I talk about, so I'm gonna get out your way and let you take it over.
Okay. All right. Good morning, the News and Motion family. It's me, Kenny Stanley with the End Zone. How y'all doing this morning? We got a little bit of news to cover, so here we go. In the Olympics, defending medal winner, trying to defend her title in the giant slalom, Michaela Shepard is out. She fell after the fifth gate. She still has 3 more events where she can become a medal winner, but she's out. She's not able to defend her medal. In U.S. hockey, the women they beat Switzerland 8-0. Wow, they got a big showdown coming up with Canada, who also beat Switzerland the other day 12-1. So maybe it was just a tune-up game, like a scrimmage. In U.S. Figure skating, the team skating event, the U.S. Got away with a silver. Congratulations to the U.S. I don't know why it's down, but after that event, U.S. men's figure skater Vincent Zohan, he tested positive for COVID. He's doing more tests to see if he can get a negative in there, or if not, he will not be able to finish competing for the in the Olympics. In NBA news, we got the 76ers who beat the Bulls 119-108. Who else is there? Oh, Denver smashed Brooklyn Nets. I don't even think they showed up. 124-104. Defending champ Milwaukee Bucks beat the LA Clippers 137-113. In the WNBA, I got to read this verbatim. In the WNBA, they announced a new $75 million capital raise to aid in the growth strategy. The money will be used for new marketing and uh, branding the WNBA for around the world, globalization. So that's big us for the WNBA. They need to be bigger than what they are. They got a lot of great players, and believe it or not, I like to watch the WNBA because they do be balling. You want to see teams, you want to see them work as a team, watch the WNBA. A lot of times, a lot of people don't understand the pick and roll or whatever they do, but the women, they run it like it's supposed to be done. In the NFL, I couldn't wait to get to this one. In the NFL, the blanket is being taken off, but they're trying to sweep it under the rug. Can't get swept under the rug. What I'm talking about is Brian Flores, the former Miami Dolphins head coach, who got fired, by the way, this past season after 2 winning seasons. He got fired as a winning coach. He's suing the NFL. Why is he suing the NFL? They done some underhanded stuff again. He was up for an interview that was supposed to happen on a Friday. It was supposed to happen on a Friday for an interview for the New York Giants to become the head coach. Well, before the interview, he got a text message from Bill Belichick congratulating him, saying that you're the guy. He said, thank you, but he told Bill Belichick, thank you, but I don't have an interview till Friday. He said, you sure you texting the right person? Bill Belichick came back and said, oops, I done effed up. That's what he said. I done effed up. I texted the wrong person. It was supposed to have been Brian Daboll, who got the job, and the Giants had already hired him to Wednesday before Brian Flores' interview. So they were just going to use Brian Flores to say that they interviewed uh, a person of African descent, African American, pertaining to the Rooney Rule, which states that they got to interview a minority for a job. Each team has to do that. But he pulled the rug from under him. He said, "No, I'm suing y'all. You can't do this. How do you do that? That's underhanded." Um, I'm standing behind Brian Flores. This gives me another platform. I do believe after the Super Bowl, depending on how this go, I may be done with the NFL again. I didn't watch the NFL for 3 years because of Colin Kaepernick. I just started back watching it this season. Uh, Now this Brian Flores thing's come out. What do we have to do as Black people in America? Period. It's not just the NFL. You do get more hires in the NBA with Black coaches, but the same thing goes on. In the NFL, you got white coaches, their counterparts, who have losing records that continue to get job after job after job. You get Black coaches with winning records, and they can't even get an interview. They say, well, they tell some Black coaches you can't be a head coach unless you're a defensive coordinator. Well, they get the defensive coordinator job, they still can't get it. You need to be an offensive coordinator. They become offensive coordinator. Eric Bieniemy has been the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs for the past 5 years. Them boys is balling. Kansas City is balling. He calls all the plays. But he can't even get an interview. Come on, we got to stop this. Give us our shot. We can do better than this. We are winners. So give us our shot. That's it for the news, and that's it for the sports for this weekend. I want to thank everybody, and we'll talk to you later.
Hey, Kenny, thank you so much for that recap.
Thank you.
That all that information. John Gore says, "Love the Pro Bowl. It was fun to see the best players fraternizing with each other, joking and laughing at and with each other. Great pregame to watching the Bengals beating the Rams in the upcoming Super Bowl." Then he says, "We say OHIO proud. Yeah, we are proud.
Yeah.
We live in Ohio. We are excited.
Yeah, we're proud. I'm proud of them. I think I'm gonna go with Cincinnati again. It's an Ohio team. I can't help it. And then living in Cincinnati, you can't help but like them. When I used to live there, so you can't help but like them.
I
So
know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for always giving us your contribution. I love how you just flow with it. Yeah, we got to keep moving with this, though.
We got to keep moving.
We were all in talking about you love the end zone intro. Well, we were just talking before we came on the air today. After Monday, we got to change it up because football season will be over. So we're gonna play around and see what we're gonna do next as Kenny continues to report on Monday. His end zone, his sports. Now the end zone name will stay intact, but we will be figuring out how we're going to make some adjustments to the commercial. So if y'all have any ideas, let us know. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Y'all have a good one, everybody.
All right, y'all. Speaking of the Super Bowl, y'all, CBS Los Angeles reports that the Super Bowl commercials and the price tag that comes along with these. Y'all, Variety is reporting, as you see right up here, there's 3 of them that'll be coming out. The ads for this year sold out in record time at a record prices, according to NBC, which will broadcast the game on February 13th. Y'all know that's this coming Sunday. Y'all, some 30-second spots sold for a record of $7 million. Y'all, $1 million. 30 seconds. And y'all get mad at me trying to do a 60-second spot for a couple $100 right here on News in Motion. Listen, that's the price that you have to pay for these commercials. So y'all, $7 million. Now get this. There are more than 30 new advertisers compared to last year's event. So y'all just take 7 million times 30. Now we're not talking about the older models, and 7 million is the lowest price for the commercials. Just think about that for a moment. They're racking that in. I cannot help but think about those who are food insecure. Can we give them some money? What about those who are homeless? Can we help out the homeless? What about those who need assistance as immigrant moms or dads? Can we not help them out with groceries? What about the elderly who are trying to stay afloat and struggle? Can we not help out with that? Y'all, I think about $7 million just for one. That's the lower end of the fees. 7 million, what we can do. I also think about the candidates already in the commercials that are being spent on the midterm election. Y'all, we're talking billions of dollars. Y'all, billions of dollars. And people are suffering right here in the United States. I'm excited for the commercials. I love the commercials, many of them, not all of them. But I'm just thinking, wow, what could we do with that money? I'm always thinking differently when it comes to that. All right, y'all, back in the news, we have Joe Rogan. Y'all remember that? The whole Spotify situation. AP is reporting that Joe Rogan's pretty much, y'all know what he said. He used the N-word many a times. And y'all know who found out? Black Twitter. Black Twitter's like, nah, if this is happening with Joe Rogan, I'm sure he done said something else. So this N-word, these racial slurs are a constant on his show. Yeah, Black Twitter is the bomb. Don't mess with Black Twitter. So y'all, we now have the anti-coronavirus vaccine and now the N-word, the slur. Now, Spotify has not responded as of this broadcast that we were able to find out what they're going to do with this. But Spotify must decide where they're going to stand on race relations and vaccine misinformation in a society with heightened sensitivity in both of those issues. Then there's the business decision about what to do with Rogan's. Get this, y'all. He is making like $100 million from his podcast. $100 million. Stop right there. I went to our records. I said, what are we doing? We ain't even making thousands, okay? But it's like, how, why? Help me understand what's going on. Why can't we have that same kind of support, whether it's News in Motion or other podcasts? William Stevenson's, her podcast, Kenny Stanley with what he's going to be doing with his podcast. I can name so many more podcasts. Y'all, we have to sow into these things. We do. We have to sow into it. So thank you, Isaiah, for putting that up. You can put that back up there, Isaiah. Listen, if you want to be a part, now this will help us not having to censor our conversations. I'm not pleading with you. I'm giving you facts so that we don't have to censor our conversations. The moment we go to sponsors, which I have been fighting that. The sponsors, when I look at some of their non-disclosure statements, some of their contracts, there's certain things I would not be allowed to say. I would not be able to use the Queen's voice, okay? I wouldn't be able to do, well, not her voice. I would not be able to implement that, something that we have learned to really like here on News in Motion. I would not be able to do that. Because what they do, they watch a few segments, they're marketing people, they're researchers, and they come back with, okay, this is what we're offering you. But when I looked at, I won't be able to say Buttercup. I won't be able to say the occupant. I would need to name him. There are so many things that I would not be able to do. So I don't move forward with sponsors. But y'all, it's choking us. It's killing us because there's some things we want to do we're unable to do because we're not bringing in the money. Right now, our Patreons, we have 33 patrons, 33. But y'all know the numbers. We're over 40,000 people viewing this. Over 40,000 people viewing this. And we have 33 patrons. Y'all, there's something wrong with that. I saw a meme the other day, and the meme was I was on Instagram, and this was one of the black market handle. And they were talking about the number of times that people shared Rihanna's pregnancy. That post, that picture of Rihanna, beautiful picture of Rihanna. And they said, you shared that to talk about someone's pregnancy, someone that you don't know, but you won't share your friends or your families. Y'all got it, right? You won't share their stuff. You won't invest into that. And they were talking about how much money she gained from the shares because of the clothes she had on, because of the influencing that was taking place. But we won't do that with each other. Come on, y'all. If y'all want us to continue. Now, I can go the route of being censored. I don't want to. I really don't want to. But I want us to start thinking bigger and larger. Invest. And you may say, well, I don't want a direct withdrawal every month. I don't want to become a member that way. Well, you can email us and say, you know what? I want to send you a check, or you know what? I want to send you a cash app. You can email us at newsinmotionwithgail@gmail.com and say, and we can have that conversation. You can, or you can just cash app us and say, hey, I just want to sew into this. And I hate doing this, but I have to. And that cash app is the $ M as in Mary, I M as in Mary, today, TODAY. Y'all know I'm really funny. I don't share that much, but y'all, that is what's happening. If we want to be censored, then we have to go the route of sponsors. If we don't want to be censored, then we need the more membership to come along on Patreon. And I'm hoping you will really pray about that and consider that. Consider that. Elizabeth said, me out of nowhere, love that sweater and necklace. Yeah, straight out of nowhere. But all right, Elizabeth, I love you. Elizabeth B's talking about you can get this from Paparazzi, Latrice Jones. Latrice, let her know how they can find you. And there's other paparazzi people on here as well. All right, y'all. Now, The Rock, dealing with Joe Rogan, y'all. I'm wrapping this up. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. He's rethinking his support for Joe Rogan. I remember he came out supporting him over the coronavirus. Now, he says he watches him every day or listens to him every day. Well, Dwayne, if you did, you already know what he says. So, help me understand that. So yeah, the Friday saying he was not aware. Friday, Dwayne was saying he was not aware of Rogan's history of using racial slurs. So were you watching him and listening every day or not? I'm gonna just leave that there. All right, y'all, as we wrap up, y'all, economy translates to weddings. Yeah, New York Times is reporting nearly 2.5 million weddings are expected to happen in 2022, according to the trade group, The Wedding Report. That will be the highest total of weddings since 1984. This year, nearly 2.5 million weddings are expected to take place right here in the United States. That total, which comes from that report and a trade group out of Tucson, Arizona, is a bump not since again 1984. Now, y'all, the spike in the wedding they believe correlates with a good economy. That's real strange to me right now. And in 2021, the economy grew 5.7% from the year before, the largest gain since 1984. So I don't really know what's happening here, but y'all, more notes that I want to share with you. More weddings are a sign, again, of a strong economy. Couples getting married. Now, some people think it's because of all the postponed weddings 2 years ago. They're all going to happen this year. So they're saying that hotels and event space and all that, they're jacking up their prices because all these people are getting married. But the people who are getting married said, we're going to go to a park or something to make this happen so they don't have to pay all the money. All right, y'all, in the inspirational message, thank y'all so much for hanging in here. I wrote this down because I was trying to get a figure out why people are resistant to launching out into their business. And I think a lot of it is tied to people who have been wounded. So I took some notes. And so I want to start off by asking this question. Have you been rejected or wounded? Have you been rejected or wounded? Now, here's 4 things I want to quickly share with you. Number 1, you got to ask this question. How do I use my wounds, my pain, my past rejections or pain to my advantage? How do I use these things to my advantage? That's where you're going to start. Again, I'm not a certified clinician, therapist, counselor, or any of those things, but I just was thinking about business and why people are not launching. And in this month of February, we're talking about entrepreneurship. We're talking about launching people. We're talking about wealth building. We're talking about Black enterprise and Black and brown businesses. So the question is, how do I use my wounds to my advantage? How do I take that as an advantage to jump out and do something? The second thing, figure out how to turn the hard and difficult stuff into opportunities. Yeah, I'll say that again. Figure out how to turn the hard and difficult stuff into opportunities. How can you turn these into opportunities? Again, we are getting a list of mentors to help people and a list of mentees. Let us know. Just email us saying, hey, I either want to be a mentor. And again, this isn't a lot of time. We're talking maybe 30 minutes out of a month where you are just checking in with somebody, seeing if they have any questions, anything where they're stuck. And maybe you'll end up counseling them or consulting with them or coaching with them. But listen, y'all, you need to figure out how to turn the hard stuff and the difficult stuff into opportunities. So let's take News in Motion for an example. Okay, once my initial team, the team that helped launch me off, says, they're having career advancements, they were doing other things, they were getting up with me, they were doing it as volunteers, they were not getting paid, they were not getting a stipend, they weren't getting, except for one who's related to me. She wasn't getting paid, but hey, she's mine forever, for life. So with that, I said, okay, what do I do? Well, Isaiah loves media production. Young man, great. His resume is good. He has a love for this. Okay, let me turn this into an opportunity, because I can't keep trying to do this on the side. And he's doing a phenomenal job just the second week on the job. He is a paid freelancer. Y'all, he's a paid freelancer. And the other opportunities is getting other work. But the opportunity for News in Motion was to sow into someone else who has a love for this and help bring them around. Y'all, over 40,000 people are tuning into this every week. Over 40,000 people are tuning into this, whether it's the replay, audio, the lives, whatever. Out of those 40,000, he's already had one person. I also understand the second person's getting ready to come to him. I'll let that happen. I won't tell him. But listen, that's how this works. That's how this works. Opportunity. So you look at your hard stuff, you look at your difficult stuff, and you ask the question, how do I turn this into an opportunity? So number one, again, ask the question, how do I use my wounds, my past rejection and pain to my advantage? Number two, figure out how to turn the hard and difficult stuff into opportunities. Number three, stop trying to figure everything out. Oh my God, that's going to kill us. Stop trying to figure everything out and use that energy to move forward. See, I think sometimes we try to figure out everything. We want to know everything before we launch out there. You're not going to know everything. You're not going to be able to figure out everything. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So stop using all that energy to try to figure out things and try to get clarity before you launch. Just launch. Here's the thing. Some of you are afraid to make a mistake or to fall. Listen, I've had plenty of epic fails, but you have to have the stamina on the inside of you to say, well, brush myself off, get out here and launch again. Get out here and keep doing it. But that's why it's so critical. Crucial. It's so crucial for us to support one another. And if you don't like the person, and you don't like what they're doing, then just say nothing. Just say nothing. We have to work around this. We have to work around, and we also have to look within ourselves to say, why are we hating or talking negatively about somebody else? But see, those things right there, those are some of the things that create that wound, that pain, and that past rejection. But you can't just sulk there. You have to determine, okay, this is what's happening, but I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep launching. I'm going to keep moving forward. Do you know how many people are sitting back waiting for you to fail? Tons. But guess what? You can't worry about them. You have to worry about, or not even worry, you have to consider and think about how you want to move forward today. So that's number three. Number four, and I'm done. Allow your rejection and or past wounds or pain to drive you to your healing. That was a whole lot right there. I'll say that again. Allow your past rejection, your pain, and or your wounds to drive you to your healing. Yeah, work through that thing. Figure out where your energy comes from. My energy comes from Jesus. I'm going to just tell y'all, my energy comes from the Holy Spirit. And I looked yesterday, I was praying and I was like, God, and I was talking about these dreams that I've had. And I said, God, I'm 56. And it was like the Lord just stopped me like, will you stop talking about your age? Do you see the people in the Bible? They was around to hundreds of years old. Not that you're going to get there, but you still have a dream. If you're still dreaming, hello, somebody. If you're still dreaming, that dream is still possible. If you're still dreaming, that dream is still possible. I think I'll say that again. If you're still dreaming, that dream is still possible. I think I'll say it one more time. If you're still dreaming, that dream is still possible. So let me recap real quick. Ask the question, how do you use your wounds, your past rejection and pain to your advantage? You got to figure that out. Get in the closet with Jesus and have that conversation. Number 2, figure out how to turn the hard, difficult stuff into opportunities. You got to look at it. You got to look at that thing and say, okay, this was painful. This wounded me. This hurt. This was hard. This is difficult. You look at that. You be honest with yourself and ask yourself, how do I turn this into an opportunity? Y'all, listen, some of the best teachers, some of the best coaches, some of the best consultants are those who have no problem being transparent and teaching somebody through their difficulties, through their hardships, through their pain. People are wealthy. They're millionaires talking about that and equipping and empowering other people. And then again, stop trying to figure everything out. Stop wasting your energy on trying to figure everything out. Just do it. Just launch. Just do it. Put one foot in front of the other. Try it. If it doesn't work, back up. But here it is. Don't think it's going to work out in 7 days, in 14 days, in 30 days, in 90 days, in 120 days. Don't think that. Now, sometimes it does happen that way, but consistency makes the difference. So you have to keep going. And then again, allow your rejection, your past rejection, your wound, your pain to drive you to your healing, y'all. It's time for you to get healed. It's time for us to be healed. I don't know about you, but I want to get to the root of it, and I want to be healed. I want to be healed. All right, y'all, that was a whole lot from the weekend recap. Again, thanks to Kenny Stanley with the End Zone. Thank you, Isaiah, who's doing all the producing in the background. Thank you to the rest of the team who's doing everything that they're doing. Shout out to Christina Peck again, and shout out to Daniel Gibson and to Camille Hopkins. All of you are doing great work here at News in Motion. We are so appreciative to you. I am your host, Gail Dudley, y'all. Y'all know what I say. Stay well, everyone. Remember to wash your hands. Practice social distancing. Keep those masks on, people. Keep those masks on. Y'all know, make bold moves. Until tomorrow, I'm out.
Motion.